This call is from a person currently in a prison in England. All calls are logged and recorded and may be listened to by a member of prison staff. If you do not wish to accept this call, please hang up now.
Day 5. HMP Thameside IDTS wing. Usual wake up. Commotion from people shouting to each other on the wing, and a slap of milk on my cell floor, followed by me getting ready. For social, a few of us hung out, laughing at the absurdities around us. I went to the office to tell them I want my TV or a refund, because I am actually getting billed in prison for having a TV. I noticed this on CMS yesterday. A deduction is coming out of my account each week for a TV that I don't even have. The fact that I'm getting billed for a telly I don't have is either theft or blatant corruption. So I was telling the schools, I was like, listen, give me my fucking refund or give me a fucking telly, like over and over. I was obviously not happy in that. Many prisoners are being billed for things that they never received and are forced to pay for things that are free in other prisons, such as razors, soap, other basic stuff. I'm positive that these are supposed to be free too, but are unavailable in order for somebody to reduce spending and get a bonus, blatant corruption. Yeah, so like there was loads of prisoners who never had a telly, and all of these are being billed for a telly. The fucking prisons making fucking fortunes off this scam. The Scrooge was surprised to hear that I was being billed for the TV. I don't think anybody had ever raised this point before. It was daylight robbery. Yet I'm the one in prison. There's no wonder that crime of every kind should flourish outside the prisons, when this is how institutions operate and are rewarded by reduced spending and literally getting bonuses, because obviously they didn't want to spend the money on TVs. Okay, you told me no. I told you I heard and I'll look into it for you, they said. And I said, what's my name? I don't know, but I know your face. And I said, what cell will you find my face in to give me the TV I'm being billed for? I responded, highlighting that I knew they were just trying to be dismissive of me, and they don't even know who I am to even give me a TV that they were saying that they were going to look into it for me for. After excuses and straight lies, I retired to laugh at the absurdity. I waited over an hour to do CMS for some of it. The one prisoner on the wing paid to do it for people. I waited an hour to do CMS for some of it. The one prisoner on the wing paid to do it for people was on a break. Oh yeah, so there was somebody like legitimately, it was their job to be a CMS worker and to facilitate that for people, but they were on a freaking break. What? On other wings, everybody has CMS in their pads. That's true. It was just an IDTS wing, nobody has CMS except one worker. It was ridiculous. Ahmed did have a phone number approved so they could pass on my details so I can actually get some canteen spends and be in contact with my solicitors and speak to my mum and my son. They were generous enough to order, Ahmed was generous enough to order me some Vaseline. As the air conditioner here in prison dried my lips out, and they've actually been hurting me, got so dry. For dinner, I got a very cold bun that I had to warm up on my cell's radiator. Then put, I say warm up, it's more like defrost on my cell's radiator. Then put a pack of cheese and onion crisps and a small curry pasty on this bun. I have yet another sachet of soup that I can't use due to having no kettle. The CMS person said that we're better off video linking rather than going to the Old Bailey. This is for our next court appearance, so that we don't get moved to Belmarsh and get raped. It's better to stay here, they said. This particular wing is more like a psychiatric ward than a prison. Back in my pad, eating my dinner, there was some lad that I saw tweeting earlier on the upper landing. He was literally scorpioned, like, behaving like they were on bath salts. And I mean, tweaking, he was like behaving. I mean, have you ever seen people on bath salts? Like, that's how he was behaving. I don't know how his back bent like that, and he was just like moving like a freaking possessed person, basically, on the upper landing. I saw it from my pad window. He was tripping the life away. Guards turned the body cameras on, and after 5 to 10 minutes of this madness, they eventually carried him away to cheers of "way." Then I began writing this. I'm in my pad until around 3 p.m. until exercise. A few people, including a friend of ours, were moved off the wing. I saw them go from my pad behind prisoners walking away with their TVs and kettles. Yeah, so like as soon as everybody leaves their cell, like other prisoners are in their cell taking the tellies, the kettles, whatever else people don't have. I asked for a telly and a kettle through my pad door, but obviously no. Around 4 p.m, we got out for social. The paid CMS worker palmed me off to the older Rastafarian gentleman who appreciates my manners and let me use the system in their pad. I had £5 on there. This is because they paid me to go to education as well as me 50p a day. So I got 3 berry vape caps, which is a pack, a razor, and a golden cake, and a golden syrup cake, which is merch, and it was just pure calories, which is what I was after. Being that this is my first canteen, it should arrive tomorrow at around 3 p.m. He called this an emergency canteen. I'd got no emails on the system, but Ahmed had passed on my wrong name that the prison had given me, the new prison number, and what pad I was in. They passed on those details to the outside, as well as, and I also requested Kelly's solicitors phone number to add to my call list, which is my solicitors. So hopefully I can add them tomorrow, or I can speak to them tomorrow. We've concluded we'll ask for a video link to reduce the chance of being moved to another prison for our next court appearance. Obviously, I want to be in Liverpool, where literally everything's better. I only managed a few chin-ups, and as I was still sore in my arms and my core during exercise, I don't think I'd had any protein yesterday, bar 6 grams of protein from the so-called milk I had with my cereal. Ahmed and I discussed our raid by the police, as well as the lad tweaking out earlier, who was also the culprit to the loud banging that pissed everybody up and kept them up last night. They literally banging non-fucking stop. I don't know where to get that fucking energy. He honestly needs to be in hospital. Others here would benefit from help and treatment, not punishment, for being victims of drug abuse and poverty. People like them are locked away to maintain the scam that we live in a positive society. You're only as strong as your weakest link. Places like this are amplifiers of social deviance, not cures for them. I think everybody agrees with this at this point, but there's so much money in prison that it doesn't change things. For tea, I got rice and beans, new potatoes, cauliflower and broccoli, with a weird bean stew thing, while most others got what looks like a delectable chicken, leg and thigh. Going in with disappointment was the only reason I got the rice and beans as extra, as a worker took pity on me. Still, extremely limited protein. You'd have thought I was a vegan. Never. Back on my pad for the night, I might finish this book, sing to my fathers, and see what lunacy tomorrow, or even the next 5 minutes brings.
Thank you for tuning in to Diary of a Political Prisoner. What was a short letter for you was a period of time in prison for me. So please make sure that you subscribe on whatever podcast player you're listening on to be notified of future episodes. Each episode was recorded in a prison cell as I'm held on remand for allegedly being involved in a Palestine action to disrupt and destroy weapons in a genocidal Israeli arms factory under Section 5 of the Terrorism Act. My diary is a podcast only to give you something in the hope that you can give help and support to my mum and son, which I can't do by any other means from prison. In supporting them, for £5 a month, you can get a week's worth of episodes in advance every Monday. For £10 a month, you'll get the week's worth of episodes. Plus, I'll respond to any question you have in a monthly question and answer episode on my Patreon. That's patreon.com/politicalprisonerpod. For £25 a month, our humanitarian aid tier, you get all of the above while knowing my little boy is supported and happy. One-time donations can be made by emailing or messaging my producer on social media. Media/collaboration inquiries are on the same line, the senders and inbox. If you can't support me family in my absence, please follow the podcast on Instagram if you're going to be listening. Please follow on Twitter, all of our socials. Our handle is Diary Pol Prisoner. Please share them and this podcast with your friends. It's free to do and it helps this project grow. You can also send me a prisoner email or letters, drawings, anything like that. Links to everything mentioned can be found in the podcast description below. Thank you, love and solidarity.